Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the worst reviews ever. I got Amazing in the building, CLS in the building, and KC Fred. Once again, repping the Chiefs. We're gonna get you that deal, man. We're gonna get you that ad deal, man.
Oh, yeah.
They looking like crap right now, but you're
what's
hanging in there. You're rocking hard with them. You're dedicated to the
their
cause.
All
What's
day,
their-
every day, baby.
What is their record?
Huh?
Nah, they still won. But I think the record like 9 and so they still on top of the division,
So they
but
doing good, though, right? Aren't they doing good?
Yeah.
they had a couple mishaps though coming up.
Oh yeah.
Travis Kelce ain't been in the game. He over there enjoying them billions.
Taylor Swift. Come on, man. Enjoying Taylor. I mean, like he's
Travis Kelce like, look, I'm about to quit. He's like, look, I'm rich.
he got a podcast with his brother too.
Yeah, his brother in the
Yeah.
league. That's right. What's he on? Pittsburgh or something? Or Eagles.
He's on the Eagles.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw him on TikTok. That's how I know about their podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
check it out.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, man. Before we jump into the reviews, how's everybody doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Amazing. I like that background. Your dog was walking right behind you on the top of the couch.
I know. I saw he was walking, just scaling the couch like he was on a tightrope.
Yeah.
She was letting me know that my Christmas scene was real.
Yeah.
No, I told her, I was like, before when we was in the back, I was like, hey man, it look a little it looked like one of those teams meeting ones of fake scenes that people could put up. But she
Yeah,
wanted to put it out there that it was real.
I was just gonna tell you, TV looks like it's on fire. That's all.
Yeah, I see it. I see the fire pole. That's it.
Yep, that's the Fireside app.
Oh, it is.
Oh, it's the fireside up. You plugging them now?
So then I can put my hands to the TV and warm my hands up.
But all right, we'll go ahead and we'll jump into the first slide. So let me pull that up. Give me 1 second.
You probably would fool the hell out of an animal though, man. Like I seen like it was like a cat video, or it was like a cat. Where I saw a dog video too. It was like a dog on the couch, and it saw like a hawk on the TV on the flat screen, and it started flying towards, and it turned around and started running.
I could
Yeah,
try
we need to
that.
do something like that.
Yeah. It scared the shit out of the dog.
Yeah, that dog be shook, man. Because that one that's on the couch, I be climbing, be nervous of everything.
Dude, and they do eat everything, man. Did I tell you about that? Them hawks they have here in Atlanta?
Oh, they do.
Man. Yeah, they do, man. They eat from what I was told, they eat anything.
Yeah, they probably do, man. But all right, let me go ahead and jump on this first slide. So the movie we're going to review today is The Conference. So let me go ahead and kick this off, the brief summary. So The Conference is a 2023 Swedish slasher film directed by Patrick Eklund. And to continue on with the summary, this was a team building conference for municipal employees turns into a nightmare when accusations of corruption begin to circulate and plague the work environment. At the same time, a mysterious figure begins murdering the participants. All right, we go ahead and jump into the next section, the directors and producers. So this side's kind of light today because it seemed like my man Patrick was doing everything. So I was Patrick Eklund, written by Patrick Eklund, Thomas Molstad, Matt Strandberg. And we'll go ahead and jump into the cast. So the cast for this one, I know I'm about to butcher these names, but y'all feel free to cuss me out in the comments. So the number one was Katia Winter as Lena, Adam Lundgren as Jonas, Eva Melander as Eva. You know, she get to keep her own name in this. So Bahar Pars as Naja, Ahmed Bazan as Amir, Maria Seed as Ingla, Christopher Nordentot as Kaj, Cecilia Nielsen as Annette, and Lola Zachow as Jenny. So all right, man, y'all get ready, get your ratings ready. All right, movie rating scale, and we'll start with Casey Fred on this one. Fred, what's your rating for this movie?
Y'all caught me off guard. I thought this was supposed to be Christmas, man. Y'all speaking these little horror films. You know, I wasn't down with this, man. I think honestly, I would have to give it between a 3 and a 4. I think I'm going with 3 point. That's where I'm at right now.
You said a 3.5, so that's in the bad territory for y'all that don't know. All right, CLS. What's your rating for the movie?
4.
Okay, so CLS got that right in between bad and decent. So, Casey Fred had it in the bad territory. So all right, amazing. What's your
The only reason I'm not giving it a 1 point something is because I don't want to just say it's straight trash. So I'll go with 2.
Mm.
all right? So amazing has this right on the line of trash and terrible.
Mm.
And my rating, it's trash. So I'm gonna properly rate it. It is going in a trash territory at a 1.4. Yeah. So since I'm the outlier and damn, everybody was pretty low. Who was the highest? I think it was. What was it?
Big Fred. Maybe.
No,
Fred, you had it at 4, right? Or
CLS had a 4.
okay. So it'd be me and CLS. So CLS, why'd you have it at between a bad and a decent?
Mainly because it felt like it was cheesy, man. Like it really wasn't a good movie. And then I just noticed it just seemed like it was just a low budget Friday the 13th. Because you didn't notice how that killer dude or whatever was turning into Jason Voorhees. How he was getting as the movie progressed, as it went on or whatever, he just got more creative with the way he was killing people. You didn't notice that?
Nah, I didn't catch none of that. My man was clumsy as hell. He was tripping over shit.
He was, but no, you didn't notice how he killed. He didn't kill every person the same way. You didn't notice that? He got more.
I was definitely different.
And he was doing like some premeditated shit, premeditated stuff too. Like he was just planning it out ahead of time with the zip line incident. Remember the zip line when he was sharpening those tree branches? He did that before they even decided to use a zip line to get across the lake. He did that like hours ago before they even thought of it. Well, it was a lot of stuff he was doing, not just that, but it was some other stuff too. But yeah.
So your major for keeping it at that rating was just pretty much cheesy and
it was cheesy,
predictable. Yeah, I got
cheesy, predictable. I mean, they tried to splice a little bit of humor in there, and they tried to make it scary. But I mean, you could pretty much guess what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it wasn't like a scene in the movie that made me jump out of my seat or anything. It was just,
All right, I'll go ahead and break my rating down. So it kind of along the lines of you, where I thought it was very cheesy, predictable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's almost like they got like, I think $100 and they were just like, hey man, let's go to a campsite and let's just film some stuff. Right. We'll write a plot on the way up there. So I mean, there was some funny parts, but just overall, it was terrible.
It was a few funny parts.
We'll get it. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, we'll get to the questions later. I'll wait for it.
Yeah. Because we definitely gonna break down some of those parts. Because I mean, there was some humor, but for like this type of movie, it was definitely it was horrible.
Yeah.
So all right, amazing. Why'd you rate this as what was you, a 2 again?
Yeah, but my original one was gonna be a 1.5, but I was like, golly, I just thought it was terrible. Like I think the actors were awful. Like the whole storyline and plot, like I kind of liked, okay, like let's go do this team building thing, but nobody's going to go to like a rural campground to a town that like completely hates your business coming. Nobody's going to do that. So I thought it was just like bad acting. It was terrible. Some of the scenes would have been like HR complaints or violations, and it was like the bosses involved in everything. Like the whole thing I just thought was terrible. I think the bad acting is what like just made it even worse.
Okay. All right, Casey Fred, we did kind of bamboozle you, but we had to sneak this one on you, man. So why'd you rate this as you did?
That was so messed up too, man. I was looking for the Christmas holiday spirit.
That's coming soon, but we had to throw one of these in there. I had to throw a curveball, man.
Yeah, that was undercover brother right there, brother. I'm telling you, man, I couldn't eat no nachos. It was bad. And the worst part about it is, I don't know if you guys remember at the beginning, but they were given accolades. Like they won all these awards and all these countries, just couldn't wait to see it. It was the best #1 movie out there. So you knew it was overseas, and I'm like thinking, okay, I need to give him some credit. I need to give him some credit. And it was just bad. It was just like, okay, I hope it picks up. I hope it picks up. And then after a while, I hate to say this, but I was rooting that they hurry up and kill him. I was just getting tired. I was just like, come on, give me something. I'll go ahead and kill him. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't wait for it to be over. I was like, what is this, an hour and 40 minutes? I was like, okay,
Mhm.
y'all wasting my time up in here. This ain't right. This supposed to be Christmas. And so, but yeah, that's the reason why I gave it a bad. I wanted to put it in trash territory, but I was like, well, you know, these countries, maybe they see something that we don't see. I don't know. But so I
Mhm.
had to at least give them a little credit, you know, because they won something, but it wasn't the way we make movies over here. And that was so obvious. And I was happy that some people survived and stuff like that. But, you know, like I said, it was just way too long to be going. And this guy, how many times did he get stabbed, get poked in the eye, and all this stuff?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Yeah, my man got scalped.
Oh,
Oh
A
yeah,
lot.
you talk about the killer.
The killer, yeah, he got stabbed a lot.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, I think it was really sick. I
like,
thought,
it don't take that long to kill somebody. So I was just
Yeah.
like, this is way too long. So,
Mhm.
but yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was when I was looking for movies and stuff, I saw all the accolades. So I was definitely threw me off with the that stuff. I was definitely shocked.
Yeah.
Amazing was looking at me like, you might want to scratch that out the list. I had already seen it. I was like, damn.
Yeah. That stuff.
Yeah, it was bad. And as soon as it first started and stuff, I said, no nachos tonight.
Yeah. Fred was like, I ain't eating
You
that
got
punk.
no time for no nachos watching this.
That was horrible. Man. Just horrible.
But all right, we'll go ahead and jump into the questions because I'm definitely interested in like the scenes and stuff that stuck out. So we'll jump into that. We'll pull that slides back up. So all right, I'm gonna do this a little differently because we kind of always like touch these two first questions. So would you recommend this movie and would you ever watch it again? And just answer both of them, and then we'll start jumping into the deeper ones. So CLS, I'll go to you first. Would you recommend this movie or would you ever watch this again?
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't recommend it, but if it came up in conversation, knowing me, I'll probably end up watching it again. Because, like I said, I know people that live in Sweden. You know what I mean? Last time I was there was in January. So if I happen to be in Sweden and it comes up and it's like, hey, let's watch something on Netflix and that pops up, then yeah, I'll probably end up watching it again. I don't want to.
Let's watch the conference. You're like, oh shit.
Yes, I just saw it before I got here. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, what about you, Mason? Would you recommend this movie or would you watch this again?
That's double no's for me.
All right. Casey, Fred.
This goes out to anyone that has ever been violated. No means no. So I don't want to see this ever again. Don't even bring it up. You know what I'm saying? It's just mute everything. Just take it off. That needs to definitely go in the dumpster. That's for sure. I was not feeling it at all.
All right. And for me, I'm with you guys. That's a double no. You would have to pay me, literally. You would have to pay me large sums of money to like watch this again. So yeah, that's absolutely not. And I definitely would have recommended. Well, I might recommend it to somebody like, man, you want to see a terrible movie? Tune into this one. So yeah, that'd be my recommendation if I had to recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
So all right. What did you think about the plot or the storyline? And we'll start with Amazing first on that one.
Again, I thought it was I thought it was horrible overall. I mean, I thought I guess the plot of, you know, like a team doing a team building thing and then maybe horror that away would have been fine. But it was just with their storyline, and I think it was like trying to be comedy. Most of the jokes didn't go anywhere. So it was just kind of like so terrible. It made it a little funny on certain scenes. But I thought it was more weird than anything. Like, you know, when it was showing people in the hot tub and the one guy like undressing and looking at himself and the girls underneath the bed. Like to me it was
Oh,
it was,
yeah.
like more like weird kind of
Yeah.
funny scenes. But
Yeah, Jonas.
Yeah, Jonas was weirdo, boy.
He's a pussy too. He's the biggest pussy out of everybody in the movie. He really was.
Yes. So yeah, I thought, I guess the plot itself, I suppose if the entire story and actors were different, I guess you could potentially do something with that plot, but they didn't come through.
All right. Casey, Fred, what did you think about the plot or the storyline?
I literally thought it was whack. Like I said, it was just, it's an hour, what was it, an hour and 40 minutes, something changed or something like that.
Like hour
And it was just,
I honestly thought it was longer.
Hour 35 minutes, hour 40
it
minutes. Yeah.
felt like it was longer because first of all, I was trying to figure out, okay, are we trying to figure out who the killer is? And that's the way it felt like it was going. But all that in between dialogue that they was doing, I didn't feel like there was no character development. I didn't feel like any of this. I just felt like, why are we watching this? This was, like I said, I thought it was really whack. I did not understand where they were going for, except for the simple fact we were trying to figure out who the killer is. And then I felt so sorry for the old lady Annette, who with all her soul thought it was Fran. And then all of a sudden, he didn't even speak. He just let her babble on. And then, okay, you want to answer? I'll tell you exactly who I am. And then pitchfork or whatever that was, that hook right into her skull. And it was just like, it wasn't until she took the mask off and realized, oh, you're not Fran. And that was pretty much it for her. And I was just like, okay, well, we got that off the list. But the whole way through the movie, I kept trying to figure out, okay, who's the killer? Who's the killer? And at first, I really thought it was Jonas at the beginning because he was making all these weird faces and, threatening people and all this other stuff. But we come to find out it wasn't him. And so, because that was his mask. And then when he got mad talking about where's my mask at, that pretty much cleared him out of the video. But you just kept trying to figure it out. And like I said, it just took too long. You knew he had to die, but it just felt like it took too long to figure out when he was going to die. And they kept doing all these different things. Like I said, stabbing him in the eye. And I don't know how many times he got it in the back and all this other stuff. And yet at the same time, I mean, he acted like he was just superhuman or something. And he, and I understand because what was that piece of paper that they had? The new newspaper said, never give up, never surrender or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and you come to find out that was the farmer's son, and you realize, okay, he had a cause, he had reason, he had purpose, but it just felt like it just was dragging on way too long. And like I said, I just felt like Patrick, the guy that did all of this, he was trying to get a movie out, but I just felt like he didn't do a good job as far as going from the beginning all the way to the end. So the storyline just kind of fell flat. And I was so glad he finally died because after that, I said, okay, let's cut the credits. And they still kept going for another 10, 15 minutes. And I was like, okay, I need to let this go. So
you was waiting for this to end, huh?
Oh, I couldn't wait. Nachos, everything was just bad about this.
All right, CLS, what did you think about the plot or the storyline?
It's really boring. I thought it was boring, cheesy, predictable. Like you could kind of see where it was going in, and like Fred said, I mean, that was pretty much the only thing that kind of kept me engaged, like kept me into it, just waiting to figure out who the killer was. I never thought it was Jonas, though. I never thought it, man. Jonas was a pussy, man. I never thought it was him. He really was, man. It's just like, didn't see a killer in Jonas.
Me neither.
Yeah.
For me, the plot and the storyline, like pretty much y'all hit on a lot of it, but I kind of almost had the killer pegged, like especially once they told the story about the father and stuff, and I was like, it's probably one of his kids then, because I mean, I think they did a bad job, like. They didn't make it too mysterious where, like maybe somebody in the group was always like gone or something. It was just like they eliminated a group, I think, way too early, in the storyline where it was just kind of easy and, like you guys said, predictable.
Yeah.
And then the fact that, the killer was just like basic and clumsy and shit. I'm just like, this dude tripping over stuff. He's getting that work from both of the females and stuff. They put up a good fight.
Yeah. Cleo and what was the other chick name? What was her name? Jenny. I think her name was Jenny.
Yeah, it was Jenny, and then the old couple was like manhandling them. So I'm like, man, come on, man. Like,
yeah, I was waiting for him to fight back. To be honest with you, because I mean, really, I thought what was her name? Lena. I thought Lena was going to be the person who took him out in the end. To be honest with you, because she was the one who really started fighting. You know what I mean? Had some fight in her.
Yeah, she definitely did my man
Jonas. Yeah, exactly. I thought it was going to be Lena. That was the horse I bet on this race.
But yeah, my man was bad, clumsy. But what's good, Manic?
What's good?
Would you? So before we jump into the next question, what's your rating and what did you think after that? What do you think about the plot storyline, or why would you rate that? And then we'll jump into the question.
Please don't say classic.
What was that?
Could you pull up the rating scale? I want to make sure I get it right this time. Oh yeah, it's an easy one. It's I give it a 2.5.
Okay.
A 2.5.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got it in a terrible range.
Yeah.
So just to give you a recap, I think CLS had it at 4.
Oh,
Fred, would you have it at like a 3.5? Amazing. Would you have it at again? A 2.
Oh, 2.
And I had it at a 1.4. So we're all around the same territory. So okay, what did you think about all right, well, why did you give it that rating first?
Well, I gave it that rating just because the way it started off like, I'm talking about the only good thing about the movie was the production and camera shots and transitions. Like, I think they did really good with like transitions and like different scene cuts and stuff like that. I think that was like, they got somebody really good, or probably somebody new, but like somebody who's really good at what they, I don't even think so. I think that it was just a talented, underpaid person that just has skill. And, they made the movie feel like a movie, but the writing was terrible. The acting was bad. The storyline was okay, but the plot was terrible. And then they didn't explain anything. So it's just like, it's a movie that just starts in the middle of nowhere. It's like, it felt like it started in the middle and then it ended. Like there was no like beginning, middle, and end. It was just like, boom, you're here. And then you got to put together pieces. And then they tried to tell a story, but the story was not told very well. And just the acting was cheesy, corny. I wouldn't recommend this movie to anybody. I wouldn't watch it again. And I just answered about the plot and storyline. Storyline was okay. Plot was terrible.
Why would you say it's okay? You're on mute. Okay, never mind.
Okay, I got frozen. I say the storyline. The storyline was okay because once the plot was laid down, the storyline, kind of followed that. And I mean, it wasn't super choppy. It was smooth, but it was just like it just wasn't a good storyline.
Okay. So what scenes? We'll go ahead and jump into the next question. So now that we're caught up, so what scenes are actress performances stuck out to you? And we'll go to Casey Fred first and work our way down.
Okay. I think just the simple fact that you felt like you were trying to be in this I know it was like a white van, but it felt like a Scooby-Doo van or something because I'm trying to figure out who these people are. There was like a little mystery of trying to figure out why are they going down this road? Why are they going to this camp? You find out that there's a killer that's loose, and he starts with the people that work there. And I thought that was interesting of how they kept doing things that I'm not trying to be funny when I say this. You guys know I don't watch a lot of scary movies. I'm not real. This ain't my cup of tea at all. But none of the black people that I know would never, ever all of a sudden, ooh, I hear a sound. Let me go find out what it is. And then, ooh, why is that door cracked? Let me just go and open up the door so I can get a closer look. That's not what we do. Usually we out. And if all of a sudden we don't hear something screaming and it better be family or a real close friend, oh, no. They can do that by themselves. They better call 911 and hope they got a phone, 50 cents, make a phone call, something, but we're not going to investigate. And so I just felt like we were too busy trying to be on this ride where we was trying to find out who the killer was. And that seemed like forever. And then when we finally realized who the killer is and they've been doing all this killing, now I'm rooting for whoever's left. Come on, let's hurry up and kill this person so we can get this movie over with. And so the person that finally kills him, I think her name was Nadia. Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nadia.
And I thought to myself, okay, you already cut her hair. You know what I mean? You was grabbing at the chick. You already put the what's that animal trap on her foot?
Yeah, it's a bear trap. You stepped on the bear trap.
Thank you. And so I did not see that coming, but I sure was glad she did it. I really thought it would have been somebody else. And then I also, another scene that got me was the simple fact the two that were going on that Zinger zip line, and she conquered her fears, and he's like pushing her. He's like, "Hey, we gotta get out of here." But then when he gets up, I don't know if it was halfway or real close, he realized, oh man, that's a trap. And it's either me or her. And he gives himself up. And I just felt like he really did like her the whole movie, almost maybe a hint of more than like, maybe, you know. And for him to go ahead and sacrifice himself, I thought that was deep. And then the other one I thought was deep was the old couple. Now this is going to crack you up, but her name was Eva in that, the older chick, and they would always get together and go to each other's room, and she's all up into wine, but she always had a strong fear and didn't have a lot of confidence. But when the old dude is getting beat down and she hears him scream, she's running and she turns around and she hears him, and it was like, it's either now or never. And she goes back in there and she ain't even getting him really. But the simple fact of it is her confidence and her aura was so strong that he was like, this woman's crazy. She might actually get me. Let me go ahead and come back around. I circle back to them later. And it actually in her mind, whoo, I got him off of him. But then when it was his turn, she getting stabbed in the back, all kinds of stuff was happening to her. And I was like, dude, where's your confidence at? And so that part cracked me up so bad. And I don't know. I don't really think it was too much more that really got me, only for the simple fact I wish there was more, but it was just that bad. I was just really waiting for this movie to be over with. And like I said, I didn't eat no nachos, no popcorn, nothing to drink. I was just waiting for this hour and 40 minutes to be over with so I can move on to something else. And it was just horrible. And the worst part about it is I thought at the beginning, when you guys are giving all those credits, these foreign people was getting all these credits, and they're like all these countries and all these accolades. Oh, this is the best movie ever, and this and that. And I said to myself, all right, well, let's give him a chance. But then as soon as it wasn't even 5 minutes, and first thing I thought of is Manic and Jerk. I said, man, they done got me again. And I said,
We got to give him a shot. There's some good ones out there, but yeah, this one clearly wasn't. I don't know what the accolades were for, but they definitely need to reevaluate. But let me get Manic. What scenes or performances stuck out to you?
Can you hear me just fine?
yeah.
Yeah.
Crystal
Okay.
clear.
I would just say I'll keep it short because the movie was terrible, and I don't want to go through each scene that was terrible because we'd be here for a very long time. So I'll just say the most terrible things about the movie. The main character, or not the main character, but the, I guess, second antagonist, the leader, what was his name?
Jonas,
Jonas.
right?
Yeah,
I
Jonas,
figured you were
yeah.
talking about him. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
his acting was like, it was subpar, but I think it wasn't so much his act. It was a mix of his acting and the writing. So I can't give him all the pushback, but his Luigi, if he's Mario, the second guy, his acting was completely garbage. And, you know, I think when writers think of things, they're like, okay, we're going to make this be like his, you know, his hype man. And I don't know what script they wrote for him, but I think I felt like he was freestyling it, and it was just so corny and cheesy and lame, and it was just really, really bad. And I was just like, yo, this movie probably would be better if he wasn't even in it. Like his role was just, it was like nobody kisses that much ass. Like it was just weird. So I think his actor performance stuck out the most. I think everybody else kind of played their role that they were supposed to play. The one guy who liked the main character, you know, he kind of like was quiet, but like, hey, I want to let you know, I wish I would have stood up for you here and this, like, okay, so you could tell like there was something going on there. You had the new girl who was replacing Franz, who Franz had his little break and like stabbed the lady. It's like, okay, you're Franz's replacement, so you don't know any of the background of how we get down here. So you're the newbie, be quiet. Like, we don't really care about your opinion. So I think she played her role really well. And then the I guess the big boss was like, I'm gonna give you the golden shovel, Jonas. Like, I felt like she was a bit over the top, but you know, I felt it felt a little bit more real. Like it was a role that she was playing, so it felt like a role. But the actor performance that stuck out the most was like Jonas's number 2, that Luigi type dude to his Super Mario. That dude was just terrible.
Yeah,
that's it for me.
All right. So CLS, what scenes or actress performances stuck out to you?
Well, I was going to add on to what Manny said earlier, because he kind of hit it right on the nose, like when he was talking about the transitions and like how the scenes cut, and it was kind of cool. I did like that. I guess because I like video editing, and I thought that was cool how they did the editing. Like,
yeah,
the first scene was, remember the guy? I don't remember his name, but the guy that got killed on a hammock when he was laying on a hammock drinking the beer. And it was like, you see the killer come in the machete. It comes through the hammock, like it goes through him and it goes through the beer can at the same time. You can see like the tip of the like machete. And then he cuts the hammock, lays the guy on the ground, picks up the big rock. Now we're assuming we're about to see blood splatter after it hits, you know, after he smashes the guy's head, and then it cuts over to like that table scene, and you see the strawberry jelly splash on that plate. That was cool. The way they cut it, that was cool. I give him props for that. That was cool.
Yeah.
And the other scene, he did the same thing in the kitchen scene too. When he was killing Jenny, and Jenny was like throwing shit at him, and I don't know, all of a sudden he turns into fucking, I don't know, like Brett Favre, and he throws the frying pan accurately and hit her in the back of the head with the frying pan. Remember that? Yeah, he's a good 10 feet away from her. He just threw the pan, he just hit her square in the center in the back of her head.
And my man was precise with that skillet.
I know, right? It was a frying pan. Yo, how heavy a frying pan is. And then he went over there and started beating her with the frying pan. But did you notice this? That the next scene cut where it was like he's beating her with the frying pan, and right when he's about to strike her with that last blow, it cuts over to Cleo, and she hits that gong. You notice that?
Yeah.
That was a good transition too. I thought that was cool. And then what was the other thing? Oh, what was it? Well, I guess I don't know. I guess these things would stick out. You know, Jonas bitch ass. I mean, I'm gonna talk about Jonas real quick. Where it was like, I guess he was mad. I think didn't he have a crush on Lena? And I guess he tried to like get with her. You know what I mean? He was trying to get in her pants, but she wasn't feeling him like that. And then they were getting chased. And then they ended up on that raft, and then he kicked her off the raft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fucked up. And then the other fucked up thing that Jonas did, I thought was funny. I thought it was funny. I ain't even gonna lie. It was like,
it was funny.
Remember when what was her name? Damn. It was I wrote her name. I couldn't remember her name. Oh yeah, it was Annette. That's what it was, Annette. And that was the one. Remember she tried to? Because remember when Jonas was running through the woods and he cut his forehead on that wire and she was trying to stitch him up or sew him up or whatever. And then they left. And they run over to that little, what was it, like a shed, like a little tool shed area or something like that. That's where he found that little motorbike, or was it like a moped?
Yeah.
And she's running towards him or whatever, and he leave her ass, and he start dragging her ass up the street, dragging her down that driveway on the moped, and she's like hanging on to the back, and he smacked her hand off. That was funny.
Yeah, I would definitely kicked her. I would have made it out.
He smacked her hand off, yo. That was just fucked up. He was all about was it self-preservation. He was just trying to save himself. He was like, fuck everybody else. He's driving the moped down the street and he's just screaming. Like,
he was
like, why are you screaming?
He was consistent with his work ethic. It's like, hey, I'm gonna screw this company over, but I got a job lined up. Like, he's all about self. Like, that was consistent.
Self-preservation. I'm just trying to survive this shit and then move on to some other shit. Like, yeah.
But all right, amazing. What scenes or actress performances stuck out to you? Good or bad?
The only thing I wanted to go back one just because with the plot and storyline, I think I got that confused. I think it would have been a good concept. Everything else was terrible. But the scenes, I did like the mask he wore, or would that be a mask or whatever he wore?
Like the
I
costume.
thought that would be a good, just like creepy type thing. Just because I think big smiles like all the time are creepy no matter what. Like, you know, like there's other movies with that. Like if you're smiling hugely all the time, no matter what, it's creepy. So I thought like that was a good prop. Otherwise, I actually thought the most terrible actor was the female boss. I don't remember her name. I honestly don't remember anybody's name. I don't know how you guys remember these names. I couldn't even take notes on this one. It was horrible. I thought it was so bad.
I think it was Engel or something.
You talking about the flagpole chick? The chick you pulled up the flagpole?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was an Engel or something like that.
I have no idea.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, they're all Swedish actors, you know, all Swedish. So.
But yeah, I thought her whole role was so terrible. Her acting was terrible.
It's Ingela.
Everything was terrible. So yeah, I thought Ingela was the worst. And then even the clothes she wore there, like I just thought it was kind of funny, but that's all I got. I did like the way I did notice on some of, you know, like somebody had mentioned earlier about the different way they killed people going into the movie. I felt like, you know, like Jonas, he's the one with the scalping.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought they did a good job at giving him some of what he deserved because he was like the biggest jerk. So he got like the most stuff done to him. It wasn't just like an easy kill. But yeah, that's it.
All right, I'll go ahead and I thought one of the funniest scenes because it was like inappropriate as fuck for like a outgoing event for like a company or something was when they all was in the jacuzzi and stuff. Drinking and stuff. So I thought that was funny. I was like, man, that's like a HR violation, like waiting to happen. You know, they just sit there chilling in a hot tub like that. So yeah, that kind of cracked me up. I was like, these motherfuckers are inappropriate as crazy. You know.
Well, I mean, I understand it's in a different country that's probably socially acceptable in their country.
I think so. I believe it is just like Denmark.
Nah, I think nowadays, man, there's a little bit more separation because you know, but them two dudes was like a little too weird. Like I think if people were just hanging out and doing it, but it would have made sense. But you know, with those weirdos, they was a little too comfortable with those with Jonas and like you said, his little sidekick. Because you remember my man was playing the slow music and stuff. So
Jonas is just weird, man. He was doing butt naked karate. Remember when chick was under the bed? He was doing karate butt naked in front of that long mirror. That shit was just weird.
You know who Jonas kind of reminded me? He looked like Tobey Maguire a little bit. That's who he kind of like reminded me of, man. So, the old Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, with the with the
weird eyes and stuff.
Yeah, the eyes. Definitely.
With his crazy hair and stuff. He reminds me
Yeah.
of Pee Wee Herman. That's what he really reminds
Pee
me
Wee
of.
Herman.
Oh yeah.
So
I
going
see
back
that
to the
too.
ones, the one scene CLS was pointing out when they killed a guy on a hammock.
Yeah.
I like the scene, but I think they did that too early. That's what I'm saying. Because when that scene happened, you know, everybody else is all together, so it kind of like blew the like mystery on that point. Because it's like, okay, it can't really be none of them because you know, this guy's killing off the rip. You know, all the people and stuff, and they're all kind of like together and stuff. So that's how I knew like none of them were really the killer. So it like left no mystery or no suspense. So I mean, that scene stuck out. I was like, damn, you know, okay, it ain't none of them. I like Amazing. I do think like the prop, you know, it did help out the, I say, presentation. You know how most of the killers have a mask, so I thought that was kind of, you know, somewhat creative how they use that. They incorporated that. So yeah, but other than that, I thought the acting was definitely terrible. You know, was it too many performances? I just think they try to throw too many weird people in this situation because the one environmentalist chick that was always talking about the environment and stuff, she was kind of annoying when she was always bringing that stuff up, like all the safety and everything. It was just like, oh, okay, this is annoying. They had just too many weird and annoying people where it's just like, all right, I know you're trying to be humorous, but it got to the point of like annoying. So yeah, I think they just added too much of that. But yeah, that's all the, I'll say, scenes and performances that stuck out. All right, we'll go ahead and jump into if you were the director or the producer of this movie, what would you change or do differently? And I'll start with you first, Amazing.
I mean, everything. It would be like a complete change. I just thought everything was terrible, honestly. I can't even name one thing.
All right, I'll go to CLS. If you were the director or producer of this movie, what would you change or do differently?
I don't know. Maybe the setting. I mean, like, why do it have to be in this remote location out in the middle of nowhere? But it's this what was it called? Professional development training or whatever it was. Retreat. You know, this company
team
retreat
building.
thing. Team building retreat. That's it. Team building retreat. Yeah, maybe they could have did that shit somewhere else, not out in the middle of fucking nowhere. You know, I don't know. Maybe it made it a little more interesting, I guess.
Just to add on to that too, I also thought, I mean, even taking that out of it, I was like, nobody shares rooms when you go places.
Yeah.
So I thought that was extra weird. I mean, aside from the whole campground situation, like even they were at a nice hotel and they were like, "Oh, you two together." I'd be like, "No, I'm not sharing my room with."
Because remember when she asked,
as hell.
Remember when the chicks asked, she was like, "How do you determine who you put in each room?" And never talking about the horoscope or some shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
I had to share a room for a work trip. I would be like, no.
Yeah, I would have been out of there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Not going.
She's talking about compatible signs and all that shit. I was like,
all right, Manic Genius. If you were the director or producer of this movie, what would you change or do differently?
I actually like what you said. As far as killing them in a little bit of a different order to add a level of mystery to kind of like, you know, give the audience the idea of like, is this a whodunit type situation? So I like that. My original thing that I would have did differently, I would have did like an overhaul, like Amazing said as well, complete overhaul. But if I had to just change one thing, I would have changed the beginning. I would have definitely included a lot more background dynamics instead of just like throwing them in the mix. I would have been like, or I would have still thrown them in the mix, but I would have added so much more context. Like from like the opening scene, she's like excited. She's like, this is the project we did. And, you know, his first time taking the lead. And it's just like, okay, have you guys done projects similar? Or is this just, do they just get a random group of people in the company and say, hey, you guys are team one. We want you to just tackle this project? Or like, how did you guys go about this? Like, what is the company? Like, what is the kind of everybody's role? Because it's not like, it wasn't clear, you know, it wasn't as clear as their profession as something like a cop. Like everybody knows what a cop does, we know what police do. So I think they had a weird function and a weird team, and they were in charge of doing this grandiose type, thing. I would have just added more, context and background on that. So from the beginning, we could have just followed along.
Yeah.
All right. Casey Fred, if you were the director or producer of this movie, what would you change or do differently?
The time, because it just felt like it took too long to find out who the killer was and for him to die. So that would be my first thing. And then the second thing is, I almost thought, to be honest with you, you saw a person pick up the mask at the very end, and it would have been nice if all of a sudden we could find out that, okay, we realized that was the farmer's son, but maybe the son had a son, and it could have like continued from there. Like if they was sweetened things, this was the best movie since sliced bread, they could all of a sudden carry it on. And the ending like that would have been like, hey, it's not over till it's over. Because like that little theme in the newspaper said, we don't surrender and we don't give up. And so I thought that would have been kind of cool, but none of that actually transpired at all. And it just kind of left it, I don't know, kind of flat to me. I was just happy that the killer finally died, but it would have been kind of cool if there would have left like a cliffhanger or something, like the way we keep talking about X-Men and all that, where there's some kind of cliffhanger at the end and credits roll and they bust out, and the killer's son of the farmer would have been like, hey, I'm about to get my revenge on these last few that think or thought they survived. And I thought that would have been kind of cool, but they didn't do that either. So
I need to wrap this one up. I'm sorry. No cliffhangers on this one.
Dude, they ran this movie was low budget, man. They ran
Fred trying to make it last longer.
They ran out of
Fred.
I mean, they're the ones that got all these. You think about it. That's how they got us at the beginning. They didn't put all these accolades and credits at the end. They put all at the beginning. So it just made you think, oh wow, I can't wait to see this movie. And man, I'm still mad. This is December. Why are we watching this movie? Christmas time?
we got some curveballs out
blame
there.
the jerk on this one.
And
But all right, let me get my take. I definitely got to. Man, it kind of hit on it. Like I would have definitely changed the order of like the people dying, because I think I would have added more mystery. So I would have made sure, like, if something was happening, I would have made somebody like from the group disappear. So you would have had to play like a guessing game or something, like, dang, where's so-and-so at? They're always gone or something. And then I would have probably put a deeper spin on the plot, the storyline. Because, once they mentioned the father was like, kind of killed himself because of losing you almost thought like, okay, he has a kid or something like that. So when they kind of mentioned his son, it was just almost like linear. But maybe they could have threw a curveball, kind of what Casey Fred was saying, where he had another son that was actually in the company, in the group, so that's why he worked for the company and he was like getting payback or something, where he was just like, oh, hell no. Like, I'm going to get in with this group and we're going to go do this little retreat and I'm going to start like killing them with my brother or something,
killing them from the inside. Yeah.
What was that movie where they had the two killers? I Know What You Did Last Summer or something. You remember it was the two guys that they were stabbing each other?
That was Scream.
Scream, yeah, Scream. So Scream. Maybe something kind of like a spin like that, where it been two of them, and it would have helped out the plot. Where it's like, dang, why? Okay, it can't be him. Like he was always gone. We thought it was him, but yeah, just more mystery, man, because it was just too predictable. And it's like they just jammed too much stuff in. Like when they were running to the woods and he got scalped, and people in the bear trap. Then the killer's as basic as it's like, oh god, it's like.
You put that fucking movie in my head.
Yeah. I was trying to think of the name. Yeah, Scream.
He said, but wait, there's more. He said, hold on to your seats, baby, because this one's a screamer. He said, I'll be back. That shit was actually good though. I like that actor.
Nah, but they, you know, they had like mystery in there, man. Like you had to try to figure it out. So, you know, they had that like twist at the end, you know, where the two guys, you didn't think it was like both of them. It's like, okay, it's only one person. But when they had that spin. So yeah, they definitely could have threw something in there. I don't think that would have messed up the budget or anything like that. I didn't mind the like actual scenery, you know, like the whole forest and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't mind that like setting too much, but yeah, they just had to add more mystery. So I definitely would have made some changes on that. But all right, man. Now we kind of went through that. Now that we heard like the perspectives, would you change or keep your score? So I'll go up to you, Mason. You gonna stay the same, up or down?
I'll just keep it at 2.
It's a strong 2. What about you, CLS?
Yeah, I just leave it at 4.
Okay. The managers.
I'll bump it up. I'll bump it up a little bit to a half a point. I'll bump it up. I had a 2.5. I'll bump it up to a 3 because thinking about it, like I really did like the scene transitions and the camera work. So I think that person at least, you know, deserves the credit. It just sucks that, you know, he got partnered with, you know, a bad writer. But yeah, the camera work was fire. Like
yeah, that was good. I like the transitions too.
All right, Casey Fred.
So after listening to everybody, you know, I think I'm gonna be like Manic, and I'm gonna go ahead and bump it back down to a 3, a little bit 3.5. But you know, I'm gonna be like Manic, 3. I think that's the best that I can do. You know.
No, that's funny. Okay. I'm gonna keep mine the same. I'm already in trash territory, so I'm gonna let that be. So all right. So anybody have anything else on this movie? Anything else we missed out on, or?
I think we might need to take a vote to let you pick out movies in the future. But aside from that,
yeah. This was not a good pick.
No, but I mean, we got
to review all type of movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can't just, we can't do ones we like. That's what I'm saying. I just try to pick stuff that's like, you know, we got states going to different realms and stuff. So I get it. We, you know, everything ain't gonna be good or great, but I think that's what shows the ranges for us. And you know, you gotta look at a little bit of everything. So, but yeah, this is definitely was trash. They need some work on it. You know, because I do like. You know, I'll say countries branching out and making movies because, like, I think Spain, Turkey, Germany, and UK definitely make some strong movies. But so it's just like, man, I think sometimes people rush them. And they're just like, hey, let's get a movie out there and stuff. But it's just like, nah, man, take your time a little bit. Go look at some classics, how they put those spins in there. Like we were just talking about Scream, because yeah, that's one of my favorite ones, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. But all right, we'll go ahead and close this one out. Y'all, thanks. We'll go around real quick. Casey Fred, where can we find you at?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So yeah, I don't have any closing remarks. I just, like I said, I saved my nachos for another good movie for hopefully next week. So
yeah, we'll get you a Christmas movie coming up soon. We got you.
Oh yeah, some good Christmas movies. Oh yeah.
All right, Manic Genius. Where can we find you at?
You know, to find me at IG at the Manic Genius, or always here at Manic Sophistication.
Yeah, you're a little delayed over there. You're going in and out. But all right, CLS.
Oh yeah, I don't have any closing remarks, but yeah, you can find me on IG, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. This is CLS.
All right, amazing.
Find me here on movie reviews. I did want to tell Fred, you need to watch the next couple of movies on your own. You're sounding a little contagious. I hope you feel better, but I've noticed that as we've been talking.
Yeah.
Why you call my man out like that? Fred, you getting sick over there though?
No, it's just a lot of long days and long nights. So work is hectic.
I got you.
You know, we pushing through.
Get you some rest, Fred.
Appreciate that.
But all right, man. You can find us on the. Oh, go ahead. What would you say?
I was just gonna say it's cold over here in KC. It's 32 right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Over there freezing.
It's getting cold like that over here too.
Yeah, it's getting cold up here, but not Kansas City cold.
Oh no. You gonna put some vapor rub on your chest.
So you got them grandmother remedies and stuff.
All right. Is it honey?
Some cocoa butter on your wrist and something. They be always talking, put some butter on you or something.
Get some warm
But
tea.
all right, you can catch me at the Manic Sophistication channel, the Sophisticated Jerk at IG, and keep tuning in. And we keep dropping these movies. Like I said, we're gonna make sure we hit all genres, so we don't try to stay stuck on them. But all right, thanks. Peace.
Peace.